Hi, my name is Marianne Scales and I am a mental wellness coach with Dream Life Transformation, and I am here to talk about some of my daily practices that help keep me grounded and centered and feeling good, and helps me to navigate life as it comes. Someone asked me recently if I have a spiritual routine that I do on a daily basis that helps me. And at first I was like, I wanted to say no, but then I thought about it and I thought about what I do on a day-to-day basis, and I realized that yes, I do have a daily routine that I do every day, to one degree or another. So that's what I'm going to cover today. So let's get into it. So one thing that I do is, most days, the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is I do a yoga routine. Like a super quick 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something in there. I do a yoga routine, and the first thing I do as part of that routine is I set intentions for the day. So I will sit on my mat and I'll, be in this position with my eyes closed, and I'll take some deep breaths. And then I really think about what I want out of that day. So I set intentions for things that I would like to do, accomplish all of my work, get X, Y, and Z done, maybe today I'm going to make this video. Today I'm going to get all of these things done for my business, or all of these things done for my job. I set intentions around things that I want to attract and manifest into my life. I set goals for my business. I set goals for relationships. I set goals for happiness and joy. I say that I am happy and I am joyful in my life. Today's a good day. I feel good. I set intentions for my body, my physical health and wellness. My body is aligned. And I express gratitude. I incorporate gratitude and joy into that. So grateful for every part of my body, grateful for this body, grateful for this life, grateful for various things and people in my life. And so I set gratitude as part of those daily intentions. And then once I'm done with my daily intentions, I go into my yoga practice and I ground them into my here and now through movement. So I stretch the parts of my body that really particularly feel like they need it. And I've been doing that for a couple months now, and I have noticed that my body feels significantly better on a day-to-day basis than it did before. And then at the end of the yoga practice, I do the namaste to gratitude and solidify it and seal it into my presence. So that's the first thing I do, is wake up, set my intentions, do a yoga flow, and then seal it with gratitude. The other thing that I do on a day-to-day basis is I use deep breathing techniques. So if I'm feeling a little scatterbrained or a little stressed out, or or distracted or whatever, I take some deep breaths, just and one thing I like to do is, especially if I'm feeling like anxious or embarrassed or like ashamed, or like some memory comes up, is I put my hand on my chest, touching my collarbones, and I breathe it. I do this a lot, just day to day, just throughout the day, like this or this. It's good. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Touching up here, rubbing your forehead, that increases stress. So I try not to do that. I try not to, be like messing around up here, especially if I'm already feeling stressed out, because this will increase your stress. This reduces stress. So I do this or this on a regular basis throughout the day, just as needed. So I do a lot of deep breathing and breathing exercises to just ground, using my diaphragm. I always breathe into my diaphragm. I've been doing that for quite a while, and now it's just kind of almost subconscious. I just do it. If there's something in particular that going on in my life or whatever, I have affirmations. I have affirmations that I write on sticky notes and I put them up. I tape them to my monitor so I can see them every day. I write them in journals. I repeat them. Sometimes I repeat them as mantras. And I just say them whatever I'm working on that day or that moment or that week or that month or whatever. I will do affirmations throughout the day to help me. So sometimes I might have ones for specific situations and circumstances. So one thing I'm doing right now is I am secure in myself and my relationships, wanting to have a more secure attachment style. So I use that as an affirmation. I am secure in myself and my relationship. Another thing that I do throughout the day is I keep in mind what I'm working towards, what my goals are, what I want out of life. So I keep that at the forefront of my mind and at the back of my mind and in the middle of my mind. Like I know where I'm going, what I want. And so that is constantly going through my mind. So so things that I tend to do more things that align with what I want, with what I'm working towards, with what my goals are. So I make decisions based on that. I stay focused on my goals. And where your attention goes, your energy flows. So if you're focused on what you're working towards and what you want out of life, that's what you're more likely to spend time working on and doing. So, another thing that I do as part of my daily ritual and daily activity is anytime I take a shower or a bath, I am doing a deep energy cleanse. I am cleansing my body, my mind, my soul, my energy. I'm just washing it and restoring it and washing away any gunk, any unnecessary and non-beneficial attachments. And I'm just washing myself clean and infusing goodness and peace and love and joy and wealth and abundance and all of these things that I want into my life. I'm just infusing that and washing away anything that does not serve me, anything that's not good. I just do that. When I first started doing it, I was still clearing out a lot of trauma and old patterns and paradigms and things. So I actually had this visual of this inky black gunk coming out of me and washing down the drain when I was doing this at first. Now the visualization is mostly just clear and I feel like very sparkly and bright. So that's kind of the visual I use. So do what works for you. Another thing that I do is I am intentional about the music that I listen to. So I listen to music that, ups my vibe, that makes me feel good, that reminds me of what I'm working towards, the things that I want in my life. So I like to listen to affirmation music. So people like Tony Jones and Lizzie Jeff. And I like Meghan Trainor and a variety of other artists. So like I have a playlist that I just titled Affirm It, which is all songs that remind me of what I'm working towards and what I want more of. So I have songs about being confident and loving yourself and songs about songs that are just like affirmations of different things to bring into your life, wealth and abundance and joy and peace and happy feel goods. So things that just like make me happy. That's on my playlist. So I listen to that periodically throughout the day. And it varies. Sometimes I don't want to listen to music, but that is kind of on my rotation of things that I do. And I do periodically change and update my playlist. And I'm actually starting to create several different ones, but my main one is called Affirm It. It's basically just affirmations in song form of the energy that I want to create in my life. Whenever I go outside, anytime I go outside, I take a deep breath. and I just breathe in all the fresh air and all of the abundance and all of the agreement, and it just feels really good. Especially, I live out in the country, so when I walk outside, I'm walking out into nature and I'm surrounded by trees and earth. So I'm really breathing all of that in. If you live in a city, that's okay. There's still lots of good stuff, good energy in a city. So just breathe deep and just pull in the goodness of the universe. And and I use that as like a moment to like affirm intentions. Like, this is going to be a great day. I'm really productive today. I'm getting everything done. It's amazing. Magic and miracles are happening, and this is wonderful. Another thing that I do, that I often like to do when I'm walking outside from my door to my car, is seal my aura. So I just use a really simple visualization of pulling up earth energy and then pulling down universal light energy, and it's all mixing around inside of me and then expanding out into a protective bubble, filling me with peace, love, and joy, and expanding out and around me and surrounding me and protecting me. And it's my happy little love bubble. My happy love bubble. Nothing, it is impenetrable. And my mentor taught me this. She has an amazing video, M. Rain, on YouTube. She might be under a different name on YouTube, but M. Rain taught me this aura sealing technique, and I have adapted it for my purposes, but it really works. It makes a huge difference. The few other people that I have mentioned it to and shared her video with have said that that was very helpful. So that is something that I do, is just make sure that my aura is sealed and strengthened and fortified and impenetrable, and that everything is being transmuted to my favor at all times. So that's another thing that I like to do as part of my daily practice. So a lot of the stuff that I do in the moment as needed. It's not necessarily a daily practice where I do it intentionally each day. It's more something that I do kind of as needed. So sometimes if I'm feeling triggered, I know that that's something that I need to work on. And so I use the tools that I have, the deep breathing, the grounding, the recentering, the journaling, meditation, whatever it is, I use those tools to help me work through it and let it go. If a memory pops up that makes me uncomfortable, where I'm feeling triggered and overwhelmed and overstimulated and no, I want to run, I use those tools. I don't run from the feeling. I don't bury it and suppress it. If there's something that's coming up, it's coming up for a reason. And our emotions are not something that we need to suppress and avoid. And yes, sometimes we have memories that we're like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? I was such a weirdo. I came off like a crazy person. Why am I like this? Like, sometimes we get those memories that come up. So I don't run from that. I don't run from those uncomfortable feelings as much as like I kind of want to. So one thing I've been doing is putting my hand on my chest, taking a deep breath. I love and forgive myself. I love and forgive myself. I love and forgive myself. And I say it over and over and over again until I feel better and the feeling subsides and I feel, okay, I'm back in control. I see myself as magnetic for good vibes, for goodness, for joy, for all the things that, like, I'm a magnet for my desires and for love and joy. So they just keep coming to me, and that's a big thing in my life. If I'm overwhelmed or overstimulated, I retreat to my sanctuary. So that might be my bedroom a lot of times, or meditation. Sometimes it's just like falling into meditation or journaling or doing something or connecting with my ancestors or whatever. I do something where I'm retreating to a safe space that I have within myself and within my home, and I use that as a chance to do what I need to do. Sometimes I need to fall apart, and that's okay. And I do it in the safety of my sanctuary. And I allow myself to fall apart so I can pull myself back together. I allow myself to process whatever I'm thinking and feeling and experiencing without judgment. It's hard. I mean, sometimes I am judging the shit out of myself for various things because I'm like, why am I still like this? I don't want to be like this. I want to be like this. So I have to kind of go through the stuff that I don't want to work around to the stuff that I do want. It's a process. It's not always easy, but it's necessary, and it does get easier. It is so much easier for me to implement these tools and things now than it was when I first started, because I've been doing it for so long. I've been doing this now for several years. I started seriously doing it like 4 or 5 years ago, and it's a huge difference now in my life. These processes are so ingrained in me that whatever I need in any given moment is what I do. I just give myself what I need when I need it. Sometimes that is journaling. Sometimes that is meditation. Sometimes that is deep breathing. Sometimes that is a grounding exercise. Sometimes that is going for a walk. Sometimes that is calling a friend or a mentor and getting some outside perspective, support, and advice. Sometimes it's just being with the emotion. And sometimes it's a self-love exercise. And really, anytime when you're taking care of yourself and you're doing these practices, it is a self-love act and self-compassion. I try to always have compassion for myself and for other people. I believe and feel that we cannot have more compassion for other people than we hold for ourselves. So, to be truly compassionate, you must first be compassionate to yourself. And then it becomes so much easier to have compassion and understanding for others. These things and my processes and my daily rituals are so ingrained that they are constantly working at a subconscious level. I have been doing them for so long that now they are just part of who I am and how I operate. It's a lot easier for me now to process those difficult and challenging emotions. When I do fall apart, it is a much shorter amount of time for me to be like, pull myself back around. It doesn't take me out for weeks like it used to. Like, I'm like, okay, I know what's happening. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna feel what I need to feel and do what I need to do to be okay. And that's what I do. Whatever I need, I'm giving it to myself, and I don't have to think about it too much. Sometimes I ask myself, hey, what do I need right now? What do I need in this moment? How do I deal with this? What is the best way for me to handle this? And that's what I do. Sometimes I do have to take time to think about it and ask myself. But a lot of times, I'm just automatically doing it. I'm just automatically breathing. I'm automatically affirming. I'm automatically grounding, because that's what I do. And I'm focused on my goals, so doing the things that I need to do to achieve those goals comes a lot easier to me. Even as an autistic ADHD person, it gets a lot easier to follow through on my goals when they're at the forefront and I'm constantly thinking about them. So it is possible. So create your own routine, create your own thing that works for you to help you and support you in living your best life, in living your dream life. That's really the key. No, your process is not going to look like my process, but you might implement some of these tools and find that, hey, they work for you. They're really great. You like them. They're good. And then it becomes part of your routine. You might try 100 different things, and if 10 of them stick, that's it. That's your toolbox. If 10 of them work if out of 100 things that you try, 10 of them work consistently, that's your toolbox. I have been trying a lot of different things, and I find that some things have stuck with me and worked and been like, oh, this is really great. And other things have been like, I don't know, that didn't seem to do what I expected. So I don't know how I feel about that. And sometimes something might work for a while, and then you need to replace it with something else. And sometimes something that didn't work, when you go back and try it again, it does work. The point is, you keep trying, you keep experimenting, you find what works, and you apply it consistently. And you just stay focused on what you want, on your goals, on your joy, on your happiness, on your inner peace and your self-love. And you take care of yourself by putting yourself first. Thank you for watching. My name is Marian. This is Dream Life Transformation. I love you and have a great day.